If we use garbage or leftover food from the market that they use chemical vegetable, it's not organic. It is going to be very dangerous for us to use those materials to make compost for our garden. So a lot of people worry when I talk about urine. What about people who take medication? So it will have a lot of medicine, chemical medicine in our urine. So if we use in the garden, what will happen? Actually, we don't need to worry much about this. I used to think a lot about this too at the beginning, but after I use it for a while, I start to realize that all chemical that we have in our body, it will be pushed out with our urine, and then it will mix with our urine. So most of chemical that we use in our body, it will not last very long. The chemical that lasts longer than that is chemical in farming. Pesticide, herbicide, fungicides. This kind of chemical will last very long in the field. But from experience of organic farming, because we have many groups who do organic farming in Thailand, and then we need to inspect their land quite a lot. What we learn is, if some chemical that we use in our land, and then that chemical will last maybe 50 years or 100 years, so they can decompose after that. So if we use those kind of chemical in the land, in the bare land with nothing, it will last for 50 years or 20 years or 100 years up to the age of that chemical. That's the natural thing of chemical. But whenever we cover that area with mulch and water it, we found that if we cover a very long time, the chemical will be cleaned up very fast, faster than normal. We compare the land that they have no mulch, they just use chemical before, and then when they start to do organic farming, they did not use mulch at all. So the chemical will stay in their land longer. But for farmers who put a lot of mulch all the time, they don't let their land exposed to the sun. It's always covered with some mulch. The soil did not touch sunlight much. We found that the chemical decreased so fast. That is because of microorganisms or many kind of microorganisms in the soil. They are the cleaner of the soil. They are the cleaner of the world. So whenever we put the last long chemical in the soil, if we let it be in the sun, in the rain like that, it will last long as normal age of that chemical. But whenever we cover with mulch and then we have some moisture, microorganisms start to grow very fast. And then if any of them touch the chemical directly, they will die. But some of them that touch a little bit, they will not die. But they will evolve very fast. Because the good thing of microorganisms is their life is very short. They die and reborn, die and born, die and be born again many times a day. Because they have a short life, that's why they can evolve very easy. And then when they can evolve, that's the way they develop themselves to be able to live with that chemical and clean up that chemical very fast. That's why there's so many biochemical company in the world. They develop bacteria or microorganism to clean up all kind of chemical or petroleum or anything. So now there's a lot of products like that in the world. So the main thing is, don't worry much about the chemical in the leftover food or the chemical in our urine. The main thing is, how can we do farming without buy new more chemical add into our land? It can come with cow dung, it can come with chicken dung, it can come with compost, it can come with our urine. There's very small amount of it. It's not a big thing. And then the microorganism can clean it up very fast. The most important thing is we need to know that we cannot avoid chemical 100% on this earth, everywhere. Even your land is very far away from other people, you still have some chemical in your land because the world is no boundary. The chemical that people use is travel all everywhere. So I don't think we need to be too strict to have the strict rule for organic. The main thing is the intention of farmers. How can we find a farmer who have the real intention to not use chemical? That is the most important thing. Because if we have strict rules, nobody can do organic farming. So the number of people who can do organic farming will be smaller and smaller, and nobody can do it after that because chemical is everywhere already. So our idea is just support anybody who want to do organic farming and who really love to do farming with no chemical. We want to support them. So we don't need to worry much about their land is in the area that neighbors spray or they got water from neighbor that have a lot of chemical. So that part is hard to prevent it. When one farmer can do organic farming, they can do farming with no chemical, and then they can make a good living. They can survive. They have skill. They have technique. They have wisdom how to do it good. So if they can do it, other people want to do it too. So they can spreading more. They can spread out more and more and more and more. This is the way it will work. But if we have the strict rules that, if your land have no boundary, if the water from neighbor can come to your land, you cannot do organic farming. If we have the rule like that, that means we block people. Most of people cannot do organic farming now because the chemical can travel by land, by water, by air, everywhere, every direction. So we need to do organic farming in people's heart first. And then it will spread out to the land and spread out more and more and more. That is the idea of organic farming for us. So don't worry about chemical in our urine. Don't worry about chemical in leftover food, in the vegetable that we got from the market. Just use it. And then if we keep the condition good enough, the microorganisms start to work and clean up everything for us. I think we need to think about microorganisms. They are the real farmer. They are the real cleaner on this earth. So trust them because we have no other choice. There's no one single inch on this earth with no chemical now. That's the reality. So now we need to think about how can we start a small spot with no chemical and help it to spread out more and more and more and more. That is the hope that we are doing now.